I was sitting here thinking about the concept of permission. Specifically, when it comes to building software,
Mm-hmm.
even just a few years ago, if you had an idea for an app, you had to ask for permission. Not literally, but you had to.
Conceptually, yeah.
You had to ask a developer or you had to ask a VC for $50,000 to hire one. It was just this high wall.
It was a fortress.
Uh,
And if you didn't speak the language, I mean, if you didn't know syntax, you were just locked out. You were basically a spectator.
and now it's 2026, and the reality is so different, it almost takes a moment to process.
Right.
The premise we're looking at today is that you have a full product team living on your laptop. It costs $0, and it writes the code for you.
That's the key. It doesn't just write it.
Yeah.
It fixes its own bugs. It deploys the whole thing. It's a completely new paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't really coding anymore. We're, directing.
That is exactly what we are unpacking today. We have a document here, the 2026 No-Code Blueprint, focused on a tool called Google Antigravity. And the promise is, well, it's bold. Going from a blank page to a live, money-making web app without writing a single line of code. Welcome to the deep dive.
It's good to be here. I think liberating is the right word for this topic.
Yeah.
But it's also demanding in a new way.
Right, and I want to set that tone. This isn't just a tech manual we're reading. We're exploring a shift in how people create value. It's less about technical skill and more about, well, clarity of thought.
Yes.
But we need a map. So looking at this blueprint, where are we going?
We've got a really clear 5-step roadmap from the source material. First is the research phase, which honestly challenges everything we're told about being original.
Okay.
Second, the planning phase, using a tool called Notebook-LM. Third is the main event, the build, with Google Antigravity.
Right.
Then fourth, we tackle the valley of death, the backend, databases of payments, all the scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, going live. So testing and deployment.
It's the full journey, idea to reality.
Exactly. And the source makes a pretty aggressive claim right at the start. It says most failed apps don't fail because the tools are bad. They fail because the thinking was unclear.
That resonates. Clarity is the new coding. So let's start at step 1, the research phase. The source has a rule here that I found. Well, a little counterintuitive. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Right. This is where most people trip up immediately. They think, I need a brand new idea. I need to be the next Steve Jobs.
Yeah, invent the next iPhone.
And the source just says, stop. That's a trap. If you try to be completely original, you're taking on a massive, massive risk.
Because you have no idea if anyone actually wants it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're just guessing.
Yeah.
The advice here is to find something that already works. The example they use is a freelancer time tracker.
Simple, functional, kind of boring.
Exactly. You search for that, you find tools like Clockify. You know the market exists. But here's the detail I loved in the reading.
What's that?
The most important part of your research isn't their logo or their cool animations. It's their pricing page.
The pricing page. Why
No.
there?
Because the pricing page is the only place reality exists. A feature list is just wishes. The pricing page tells you what hurts enough for people to pay money for.
Ah, so you're reverse engineering their business model.
Yes. If they charge $20 a month for a feature, that feature is your roadmap. Your job isn't to copy them pixel for pixel. It's to match that utility and add one clear improvement.
So we aren't really looking for inspiration, we're looking for proof.
Exactly. If they charge for it, the problem is real.
Okay, so we have our proven idea. The impulse now, for me at least, is to just jump in and start building. But the blueprint says, stop. Step 2, the master plan.
Right. Stop. Do not pass go. Because, speed without direction just creates a mess faster. This is where we use Notebook-LM.
And people usually use that for summarizing documents, right?
They do. But the source suggests using it as an architect. And this is crucial. You don't just say, help me plan an app.
Yeah.
You use a very specific structured prompt. The source calls it the AI Product Business Blueprint. You're basically telling it, you are a senior product manager. Interview me.
Interview me. So it turns the tables on you.
Yes. It forces you to answer the hard questions. Who's the user? How do they pay? What happens when they forget their password? It forces you to define everything before you build.
It's like building a house without blueprints. You'd end up with a bathroom in the kitchen.
Exactly. Or a door that opens into a wall. Notebook-LM prevents that. It compiles all your answers into a structured spec doc.
It's the bridge between the vague idea and the specific instructions the coding AI needs later.
It translates the abstract into the executable. Yes.
So why is this pre-work non-negotiable?
Because undefined ideas confuse the AI and produce broken code.
Garbage in, garbage out. That makes sense. Okay, let's get to the main event. Step 3, the build. Google Antigravity. Now, this isn't a website, is it?
No, and that's a massive distinction. This is software you download. It installs locally on your computer.
Which means you own the code.
You own it. You're not renting space on some platform that could disappear. Now, inside Anti-Gravity, the control center is the agent manager. This is where you pick your AI model, like Gemini 3 Pro.
And I saw different modes. Planning mode and fast mode.
Right. Planning mode is like working with a junior dev. It explains what it's doing, asks for confirmation. It's slow, but it's safe.
Then fast mode?
Fast mode is basically, I trust you, just build the thing.
So what does that look like? When you hit go, what are you actually seeing?
It's a little spooky the first time. You're not typing. You're just watching this terminal window, text scrolling by, generating HTML, CSS. But the self-healing loop is the part that just, it stops you in your tracks.
Self-healing. That sounds like science fiction.
It feels like it. So
Yeah.
the AI writes the code. Then it opens a phantom browser window you can't see, and it tests the app. Tries to click the start timer button.
And if it doesn't work,
If the button's broken, the AI sees that error. In the terminal, you'll see red text pop up, interaction failed, and then immediately green text, fixing CSS, retesting. And it just does this loop right, break, fix, verify at a speed no human could match.
it fixes its own mistakes before it even shows you the result.
Yes. It iterates in a loop until the feature works.
Wow. That's slightly unnerving, but incredibly useful. But I have to be the skeptic here. Real apps need a brain. They need to store data, take money. This is usually where no-code tools fall apart.
You're absolutely right. This is where the dream usually dies. You need that boring trio, a database, authentication, and payments.
And I'll admit, this is where I would normally just quit. API keys, security rules. It's terrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
But the source explains how Anti-Gravity handles it. It recommends Supabase for the database and Stripe for payments. Now, you still have to go to Stripe, sign up, and get your secret keys.
Those long strings of random characters.
Exactly. But once you have those keys, you paste them into the agent manager. And you just tell the AI, I want to charge $10 a month using this Stripe key.
And it knows what to do.
It understands the Stripe API documentation better than any human. It writes all the back-end logic to talk to Stripe, verify the card, and update your database. It just wires the house.
So can you have a functional business without this step?
No. Without a back-end, the app can't remember anything.
We are going to take a very short break. When we come back, we've built the app, we've connected the brain, but does it actually work for a real person? We'll get into that right after this.
Mid-roll sponsor, read placeholder.
We are back, deep diving into the 2026 no-code blueprint. We built an app locally with Google Antigravity, but we're not done. Step 6 is testing.
And not just code testing, we're talking about human testing. You have to do some role-playing.
Role-playing, like acting it out.
In a way, yeah. You have to physically log in as the user. So for that time tracker, you create an account as a freelancer. Start a timer, stop it, log out. Then you log back in as the admin. Did that time entry show up in the report? The AI is brilliant at logic, but it lacks intuition. It doesn't know a button is annoying to reach.
So you're the QA department, and if you find a bug,
You don't try to fix the code. You go back to the agent manager and you just talk to it. You say, when I log in as admin, the report is empty. Fix it. And it starts that self-healing loop all over again.
okay, so the app is solid, it works on your machine, but works on my machine is not the same as being on the internet.
Not at all. And this is a key distinction. Google Antigravity builds the app locally. It puts files in your documents folder. It doesn't host it. For that, the source recommends Netlify.
Is that another complicated setup?
Surprisingly, no.
No?
This part feels like magic. You literally just drag your project folder from your desktop and drop it into Netlify's browser window.
That's it.
That's it. It uploads the files and pushes them to a live URL. Bam, you're on the internet.
So Google builds it, but Netlify puts it on the internet.
Right. Distinct tools for building versus hosting.
We're live. We have a URL. We are ready for takeoff. But then comes step 8, traffic. And this feels like the bucket of cold water.
Yeah, this is the harsh reality check.
The source is pretty blunt. Users don't just magically appear. The whole if you build it, they will come thing is a lie.
It's a total lie. And this is where your mindset has to shift from maker to marketer. The force says you should have been building an email list before the app was even done.
Before it was even finished.
Yes. While you were planning, you should have been writing content about the problem you solve, gathering emails. So when you launch, you have people ready to click. If you launch to zero audience, you just hear crickets.
They also mention SEO.
Yeah, search engine optimization. It's about targeting what people are searching for. It's slower, but it's sustainable. The main takeaway is this. You saved all that money on devs, take that time and money, and spend it on distribution.
So what's the biggest mistake after launching?
Assuming the product will market itself. It won't.
It's a sobering thought, but also an empowering one. So let's zoom out. We've gone from research to self-healing code. What's the big idea here?
The big idea is the workflow. It's a repeatable process. You research what works, you plan with Notebook LM, you build with Anti-Gravity locally, you connect Firebase and Stripe, and then you host on Netlify.
And the barrier to entry it's just moved, hasn't it?
It has shifted completely. 5 years ago, the barrier was syntax. If you didn't know where the semicolon went, you couldn't build. Today, syntax is a commodity. It's free. The new barrier is clarity.
Clarity of thought.
Precisely. Can you articulate what you want? The machine can build anything, but it can't decide what to build. The people who win with this aren't the best prompt engineers. They're the ones who get really good at understanding human problems.
The source ends on a thought I really liked. It says the specific app you build doesn't matter as much as just learning this process.
Because once you know the flow, you can ship anything. If the time tracker fails, fine. You can build the next idea in half the time. The tools are free. The code is yours.
The only limit left is whether you decide to open the software.
That's it.
That is a challenge to you. The excuses are gone. It's just you and the machine. This has been The Deep Dive. Go build something!
Catch you next time.